Plus, I really realized I needed to share it with the world. And I also needed to help my husband. We had major tuition responsibility that we chose to do with our children and put them in private day schools and whatever, and then college. So I needed to help, and I feel very strongly that everyone deserves to hear about Juice Plus, the product and the business, and then the choice is theirs. I thought I was a really healthy person, and I was, until I wasn't. And it took years for things to present, but they all presented at once. And the year I found Juice Plus, I had 5 sinus infections. My gut was completely a mess. I was diagnosed with Hashimoto's, which is a thyroid issue, and I was diagnosed with melanoma. So I was a mess. And I'm happy to say that I've been on Juice Plus for 16 years. Right after my surgery, I was cancer-free. I've been on antibiotics twice in 16 years, and I'm pretty healthy. So, you know, it's a wonderful thing for us to be able to share this, and it's a wonderful thing and a wonderful responsibility and privilege to share this with the world. We are ambassadors of hope, and we are ambassadors of health. Carol, are you back?
I am back on, and we are recording, Moira, so you can go ahead with your training now.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So, you know, we prospect all the time, no matter what our intention is, whether we're going out for lunch or whether we're in the shop, in a grocery line, we're prospecting. And we fill out memory joggers, and we fill out our Design the Team forms, and we talk to people because we care. But please remember, it's really, really important that you realize that we add value to everybody's life that we come in contact with. Every time we pray, every time we talk to someone, every time we teach, every time we share Juice Plus, we are adding value, and we are adding to our legacy. So that's a really important message. I usually talk about very ethereal topics like what's on your mind and living a purpose-filled life and other topics like that. But tonight, I can't believe I'm training on this, but tonight I'm training on it. Yes, it really is true. The fortune is in the follow-through. And for me to be teaching about follow-through is an interesting thing. I'm always curious. So I looked up in the dictionary, in the Webster Dictionary, follow-up. And I'm looking at my notes, just so you know. Follow-up is defined as maintenance of contact with or a re-examination of a person. And I looked at that definition and I said, what the heck is that saying? I have no idea. But then I looked up follow-through, and follow-through is to press on in an activity or process, especially to a conclusion. And I said, I know what that means. So Cynthia Gomper said a couple of years ago to me, I hate the words follow up. I love the words follow through, because you press on to a conclusion. And so that's what we're going to talk about tonight. My goal is to hear a strong yes or a strong no with everybody I'm talking to. I thank my prospects and my customers and my family, my friends, my current team, my sleepy team, my rocket ship team. I thank them for being decisive. I've learned to trust my instincts and to always speak from my heart. And as the definition of follow through suggests, there is an activity that you have to do that has a conclusion, but you have to do it numerous times. So follow through is an act of commitment. And when you follow through with someone, they know that you care, you're not giving up on them, and you're being professional. Aha, you're being professional. That's an interesting catch, okay? And yet, follow through is something we all struggle with. The biggest mistake people make in our business is to have the mindset of a one and done. if we talk once to someone and we hear a no, or we get no response, and that really throws us into a tizzy, because if you haven't taken Brene Brown, Brene Brown's course in Brave Daring Leadership, you start doing what she calls a shitty first draft, which is making up stories about why they haven't called you back, and you believe it. So, let's not do that anymore. Let's change our mindset. When we hear no, we hear not now. And when we don't hear from them, they don't respond to us, we are patiently persistent, and we hold the space for them to contact us. I have never had anybody ever in the 16 years I've been in this business say to me, "Listen, you idiot, you contacted me way too many times." And nobody's ever said that. What I have heard is, "I cannot tell you how much I appreciate you holding this space for me, because I have been so crazy busy. I really appreciate your patience, your persistence, and your caring." So, what are you saying to yourself when you follow up? Truth be told, if I had been doing the follow-up that I do now, way back when, with all my customers and prospects and clients and team, I would be a 600 Club NMD. And I'd be pulling in big money every month. And I'm very successful, and I'm very proud of where I am. And, there's always an opportunity for growth. But the minute I changed my mindset to coming from abundance, and realizing that when I followed up with my clients and my prospects and my team, I was building a relationship with them, and I'm very relational. I'm an extrovert. I love meeting new people. It changed my whole business. And the minute, and I had to remind myself, though, that 80% of the action happens after a person's been exposed to our product or our business 7 to 10 times. And when I first heard that, I said, "Holy mackerels, what is up with that? Why 7 to 10? Why do people need to hear from us that much, that often, before they take an action?" Well, it's pretty easy when you really think about it and do a little research. The amount of distraction or noise that each of us are bombarded with every day is staggering. And on any given day, when we're talking to someone, they may have so much noise, they can't even listen, even if they want to. Secondly, we're talking about health and prevention. And those concepts may be really far from where your prospects are. And they may even become confused, because all of a sudden you start talking about the research and about this company that you partnered with that puts concentrated powders in a capsule and soft chew form, and kids get it for free. And the whole time we're forgetting to have our ask, and I'm saying that with a K so you don't think I'm swearing again, ask in gear, that you ask a lot of questions, because people are going to say they're too busy to show up for an event, or they're too busy to get on a phone call with your friend. And they do that because subconsciously they're uncomfortable about change. And people are actually designed, humans are designed to discourage change. And maybe it's in our DNA. I think it is. So in addition to being resistant to change, and asking us and remembering that they're asking themselves what's in it for them, we have to remember that they want to be seen, heard, and connected. And those three things are huge. So when we're new in the business and we're following up with people, I think a lot of people subconsciously say, "I don't want to bother them. I don't want to be salesy. I don't want to be pushy." The truth of the matter is, when you follow through, that person knows you're being professional. They know you care about them and you're putting them first. And it doesn't matter what their outcome is. What matters is you have a servant's heart. You're asking questions. You're trying to offer a solution, and the whole point. I'm going to say this several times. The whole point of being on the phone or being face to face or being in an event with someone is to make your next appointment, and and that's crucial. And I'll go into that in a little minute. But I invite my customers to join my team by doing customer appreciation calls. And if the timing's not right, I continue to have conversations with them. I invite them to events, and I ask for referrals. That's a big deal. I have gotten, in the last 10 reps I put on 3 this month. 4 or 5 of them have been from referrals from my current customers and my current friends. And they weren't ready to get on Juice Plus, and I had the courage to say, well, who do you know that might need a secondary stream of income? Or who do you know that really cares about their health? Or who do you know that really is into children's nutrition? And all these referrals come in, and you start the conversation. So I had a teammate, and this woman, her credentials were to die for. She is a nutritionist. She is a personal trainer. She is she has run multi-million-dollar spas, and she has also done she has a coaching certificate from John Maxwell. And I wanted her on my team so bad I could taste it. But I waited, and I asked a lot of questions, and she got on my team, and she got on the product, and she was kind of involved and kind of active. And within 5 months, she was off the product. She was off my team. And I was like, whoa, what happened? And I followed up with her, and I always asked a lot of questions, but I mostly loved her and respected her, and I wanted to spend more time with her. So after 5 years, she rejoined. After asking her a lot of questions, I figured out it was the delivery system in which we send the fruits and vegetables and berries into the body. The fact that we were putting them into a pill really bothered her. So when we figured out that it was the delivery system, if she could get rid of the capsule part of the equation and just concentrate on the fact that this was concentrated food and vegetable and berry powders, she was good to go. She joined the business again. She is knocking at the door of senior sales coordinator in less than a year and a half. She's in PB and POB. Was she worth the wait? You bet she was. Was it good I didn't give up on her? You bet. And it was really important that I followed through, because she really realized that it didn't matter, that it didn't matter if she was on my team or not. I was going to be her friend, and she was going to be my friend. So again, just to drive it home, follow through is an act of caring. It's an act of putting your friends, your prospects, your teammates, your family, and your customers first. And when you fail to follow through, what I do know is people are feeling, I just don't care about you. You're not that important to me. And there are hundreds of reasons to follow through. The goal is to condense the amount of time between each exposure. And remember, I said you need 7 to 10 exposures. So really, our privilege and responsibility is to continue the conversation like I did with Marie. But our job is to make another appointment before we end the current conversation we're in with someone. That's really important. Larry Thompson talks about a finish line and a starting line. So before you finish any conversation that you have with anybody, please have the courage to make another appointment. What's next for you, Mary? What else can I give you that will help you get on the road to good health or help you make the right decision? Do you like to read, watch, or listen? And keep the conversation. If I send you this video, will you watch it? Yes, I will. If I send you this video today, when do you think you'll watch it? Well, I'm busy tomorrow. I'm busy Friday. I'll probably watch it Sunday morning. Great. If I call you Sunday at 11, will you answer? That is not being pushy. That is not being salesy. You're saying, and what I say to Mary is, look, I care about you. If this makes sense, great. If it doesn't make sense, great. You're my friend first, and that's what matters. But I want to talk to you right after you watch the video so everything's fresh in your mind, and I hear what impresses you and surprises you about the information on the video. So I'm making it about them, and I'm asking those important questions, and I'm shortening the time between each exposure. Somewhere when I started this business, I thought that people needed like 2 weeks to watch the video. Well, guess what happens in 2 weeks? They completely forget you sent them the video. So it's much better to say, hey, I call them up, I'm sending you the video right now. When do you think you're going to watch it? And again, talk from your heart, talk human to human, have your ask in gear, be curious, and remember, we're adding value to people's lives. I love being a connector. Let me see what time it is. I love being a connector. I love sending people articles. I love putting people together that have the same interests or share the same experience or that have the same situation. I like face-to-face is my favorite. I like inviting people to coffee, to go for walks, to have a glass of wine, to join me at an event, to listen to a lecture. But always it is with the intention to catch up and to build relationships. And that's what I'm really proud of. In the beginning, did I lose some customers? Yes, I did. But I think right now between my husband and I, we have about 57 customers, which I'm converting. I take my raving fan customers and convert them to team. I take my team and convert them to team with goals, and then I let them fly into leadership. That's my goal, is to get everybody to a sales coordinator. And on the way, they're going to pick up $1,000 in bonuses. Easy. I do think it's really important that you be creative how you approach people. You don't want to do the same thing all the time. You might want to share an update on business that you're, especially when you have forward motion. I know we talked, for instance, I would say, I know we talked when I first launched my business and it wasn't the right time for you, which was absolutely fine. But I wanted to share that I've not only earned back my initial investment to buy my virtual wellness franchise, but I pay for all of my family's product, and we are saving for a huge vacation. And I just wanted you to know it. Thanks for letting me tell you that. I needed to tell a friend, and I thought of you. And that was a lovely thing. Actually, I did that to a friend of mine, and she was so impressed that I made back that money by my second month and was already on my way to saving for my family's vacation, that she ended up joining my team, and she's still an active member on my team, and that was 14 years ago. Another thing I do is I share my team's experience, their successes on Facebook and in conversation. And it's a wonderful reason to reach out and share. And I just did this recently with a new teammate of mine. She was a little, I see my line of customers and teammates to infinity. It's a never ending line. I'll never run out of people to talk to about the product. I'll never run out of people to talk to about the business. I'm a recruiter. And by nature, I see myself professionally as a recruiter. And I know that's a crass word for some people, but that's what I do. But I was talking to this new teammate and I said, you did a lot of events when you first joined the business. Why don't you go back to those people and ask for a redo? And she looked at me and she said, what? And I said, go back to all the people that you first spoke to when you first joined the business and reach out to them and say, I know when I first spoke to you about Juice Plus, the product and the business, I wasn't really good at what I was doing. I didn't do a very good job. I would love to know if you would be open to a redo. Let me talk to you for a second time about the product and about the business. And if it makes sense, great. If it doesn't, great. You're my friend first. But I'd really like to practice this redo on you. And you're the person I trust. And you're the person I feel comfortable with. And I value you first as a friend. And as it turned out, she went back to 10 of her people and she signed up 5 of them. So that was a pretty good little experiment, a redo. I love talking to obviously my customers, but really the company wants us to have more customers on a few products than a few customers on a lot of products. Okay, that is what the company really encourages us to do, and they encourage us to do that because if you have more customers on several products than a few customers on a bunch of products, if one of them cancels, it's not going to be devastating. If you have a few customers and they're on 6 products and they cancel, that's a lot to make up. So I love talking about new products, and here we've got this beautiful Tower Garden, the Tower Garden home that's going to be available for purchase tomorrow. I can't wait to order mine. And we've got some really exciting things coming, some other products, and you all know that we've got some of these coming. I love inviting to events. I challenge myself every time we have an event to outdo the previous number of guests prior to, since my last event. So here's an event, okay? We had Paul Stricker come in Connecticut. On the back of every event, I printed out and I put the people's names, and I do a call, send, call. So I call them and invite them, I send them the flyer, and then I call them again. And I keep track of how many people are coming, and then what do? I follow through. Of course, I follow through with the people that came. They're easy to follow through with. And I've already set up my perception that I want to hear. What did you hear that impressed and surprised you about the information that Paul shared last night? And because I want them to look for positive things that impress them and surprise them. Okay, I don't want to say, what did you think? Because our society is so negative, especially with the political climate we're in. I wouldn't dare open that open-ended negative question. What impressed you and what delighted you in the information you heard tonight? They're going to look for positive things, okay? But the other piece is, I love calling the people that said they were going to show up and didn't show up for whatever reason. Somebody was vomiting, somebody, the dog ate somebody's homework, whatever it is, they stubbed their toe. It's all okay. But I want to follow through with them, and ask them if they're open to hearing what they missed. The last time we had Paul here, which was last month, I ended up sending out his video to 10 people because we have a video from Dr. Paul Stricker, even though they couldn't come. And a couple of them were so excited that I sent them that. They shared it with their kids, and their kids ordered Juice Plus this month. 2 of the kids ordered Juice Plus this month. So just because I don't care I know this sounds corny. I do care. I keep track of how many people show up, but it doesn't matter how many people show up. What matters is how many people I invited and how many people I follow through with. Does that make sense? Is this making sense? Thumbs up? Yes? No? Okay. Great. Thank you. I love sharing good news about how philanthropic our company is. If you're not sharing that, you're missing a really valuable piece. We have the Family Healthy Starts program. We have the Tower Gardens that we gift to the Boys and Girls, 4,500 of them that we gift to the Boys and Girls Club in Canada, the USA, and the USA. 10 million meals in the United States, 10 million meals in Europe. We are the largest donor to St. Jude's Hospital and the Target House. We have to make a big deal out of this. We have to be very, very proud of this as a company that we have partnered with, because guess what, guys? If every company did this, was as kind and philanthropic as we are, we would be a much more gentler, productive, kind, caring world and country. So let's shout that from the rooftops. Probably my most favorite activity is connection calls. I'm good at them. I love them. I love highlighting and lifting up my team. I love lifting up our guest that has been brought to the call, and I love closing. I feel really comfortable with closing, and it gives me an opportunity to help my team figure out how they're going to close. How are they going to ask for the order? How are they going to make the next appointment? How are they going to find out where these people want to be 3 years from now? How are they going to find out, what does being healthier look and feel like to the person we're talking to? All of those and more comes through on these connection calls. So talk to your upline, talk to your sponsor, talk to your upline NMD, see if they'll do connection calls with you, because even if the person doesn't order, and they don't always, or doesn't join your team and they don't always, you're going to learn from it. You're going to grow from it, and you're going to be able to do connection calls. Finally, I think, of course, babies and grandbabies and going back to the job or getting a promotion, your friend getting a promotion, all of those things are great topics to give yourself permission to share and have conversation about. But remember one thing, and I'm sometimes I'm good at social media, sometimes I'm not so good at social media, but I always remember people are watching me, and people pay attention to what you say, and people pay attention to what you don't say. So I'm very thoughtful about what I say. And I think it's really important that we remember that people want to be around confidence, high energy, happiness, presence, living a purpose-filled life. So be happy and be enthusiastic, and, love, really appreciate what you do and the gifts we're able to present to people. Take care of yourself first. Fill yourself up first. For me, I meditate every morning before I get out of bed, every single day, without fail. I meditate a half an hour to an hour. I get up, I do my thing, I go to yoga, and then I'm good to go. I am ready I have my servant's heart. I'm all filled up. I'm full of energy and gratitude, and I'm able to help everybody. But you have to fill yourself up. So tonight, I'd like to give you an action step to follow. I would really like you to follow through with 5 people that have not responded to you in over a month. Pick a reason to contact them. Maybe something I suggested, maybe something that's in your heart that you want to follow through with them. Always envision I like to envision the whole thing before I pick up the phone and call somebody or text somebody. So I visualize them hearing from me and smiling and laughing and responding to me, and I visualize the whole thing from the beginning to the end, and them, I'm either placing an order or I'm placing them on my team. Okay. But be excited, and successful people are always working on something. So after 16 years, people no longer say to me, "Are you still doing that thing? That health thing? Are you still selling vitamins?" And I look at them and very nicely say, "They are not vitamins. It is whole food nutrition. But yes, I'm still doing this, and I will do this until the day I die, because I love helping people. I love making a difference. I love leaving a positive footprint." So call those 5 people, be real, be enthusiastic, and and be grateful that we get to change the world one person at a time. So that's my talk, my quick little training. Does anybody have any questions?
I just want to say thank you so much. That was great information. And I know that I don't know if everybody was writing as fast as me, but I do put these on a YouTube and send out the link. So I'll make sure that you guys get the link for the phone call and for the training. But does anyone have any specific questions for Moira while we're on the phone here or on the call?
I do. That flyer that you held up, so you blow up your flyers, it was pretty large.
Yeah, it's an 8 by 10. It's an 8 by 10. And I here, it's funny. I'm such a creature of habit. This one is Dr. Tamara Sachs. So, you know, it's an 8 by 10. And
Okay.
on the back, I do the exact same thing every time. I'm really boring. I'm really predictable. You know, I'm adding new names every time. So these are the last 2 events we've had.
Okay.
And look at that. I mean, it's so messy, it's not even funny. I can barely read it myself. but you know, this one I had 13 people say yes. This one I had 10 people say yes. So, you know what? I still had to I had to follow through with these guys. And did I drop the ball on a film? Yeah, I did. Tell you the truth, I did. But I try. I'm going to try to do my best. Did that answer it for you?
Yes, it did. I just wanted to see. I would definitely want to see the back of it. That's very good. Thank you.
Yeah, and writing yes and no keeps track of it. And then I bring. By the way, I bring the list with me because I want to make sure that the yeses show up. And if they don't, I want to make sure I know that they didn't show up and I can say, oh my gosh, I really missed you. I thought of you the whole night. Because once I realize they're not there, I really do think of them the whole night. So it's kind of crazy. If I leave you with one thing, I really want to make sure that you understand the power in shortening the exposure time between each conversation. Please don't make up some crazy rule in your head that your subconscious believes that they need a week to see a video. They don't. Have the courage to ask them when they're, call them and say, I'm sending you the video. I'm so grateful you're so open-minded. I love working with open-minded people. When do you think you're going to watch the video? So that's a general caring statement. I'm asking because I can't wait to hear what impresses you and what delights you about the information that is shared. I really want to hear it from you. And I do want to hear it from the people that I've invited to the event. So they know I care about them. So they say, okay, I'm going to watch it Wednesday night. Fabulous. What time do you think you'll watch it? Well, dinner's done at 7:30. I'll probably watch it at 8. Great. The GoPro. If I call you at 8:30 on Wednesday night, will you answer? It's that simple. So it's a date. You got a date. That's your next date. And if you did that with every single one of your prospects, I guarantee you your closing rate would increase drastically. The biggest problem people have is not knowing how to close. Mm-hmm. So work on closing with your sponsor, with your national marketing director, with anybody you can that's willing to run it by your husband, run it by your kids, run it by, if I said this, would this interest you? I talk to strangers all the time. And I don't go out unless I can't help it. It's just who I am. And so therefore, just talking to people makes it, I don't even think about it. I don't even think about the fact that I'm talking to a stranger. Let me see, is there anything I need to say? Okay, great. Thanks for these comments, guys. You're so sweet. Anyway, unless there's another question, I'll say good night. Thank you for these wonderful thoughts and comments. I appreciate you very much.
Yes, that was amazing. Thank you, Maura. We appreciate having you. I'm sorry, did someone say something?
Yeah, no, Carol, I was just saying thank you. That was really awesome training.
Awesome. All right. Well, good night, everybody. And
Thank
I
you.
will get those videos to you tomorrow. All right. Thank you
Good
so
night.
much.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Carol.
everybody, for sharing.
Bye,
That's
everybody.
great.
Good night.
Bye, thanks.
Thanks, Carol.
You're welcome, Ham. We'll see you later.